scene. The Child Development Division in the Ministry of Mobilization will be hosting a children's symposium this week. The event is scheduled for Thursday, April 10th at 9:30 a.m. at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Conference Room. During the symposium, the Child Development Division will bring awareness through presentations from children and other stakeholders. The symposium is among activities being held for Child Abuse Awareness and Prevention Month 2025, which is being observed during this month of April under the theme, Children are our priority, protect them so their future becomes a reality. As part of its 9th anniversary celebrations, the Zero Hunger Trust Fund has developed a community garden at the Thompson Home for the Elderly in Richmond Hill. The initiative, launched on Monday, April 7th, is part of a series of commemorative activities under the theme, 9 Years of Impact, Giving Back, Growing Forward. The Garden Project aims to promote sustainability, foster community engagement, and improve the overall well-being of the residents. Developed in collaboration with stakeholders such as Beautiful Plants, the Central Water and the Surge Authority CWSA, and volunteers from the Zero Hunger Trust Fund, the garden is designed to be a sustainable source of fresh herbs and vegetables, which will enhance residents' meal and support better nutrition. The garden also offers therapeutic and physical benefits by engaging residents in gentle gardening activities, contributing positively to their health, social interaction, and a sense of purpose. Safia Hornbeek, CEO of the Zero Hunger Trust Fund, said this initiative reflects our ongoing commitment to enhancing food security and promoting well-being across all age groups. Meanwhile, Michelle Beach, president of the Thompson Home Committee, expressed heartfelt gratitude to the fund and its partners. 4 men have been arrested and charged in connection with a quantity of cocaine recovered during a targeted police operation conducted in the Northwestern Division. Charged were Aquino Williams, age 28 of Union Island, Omar Williams, age 24 of Union Island, Junior Doroshe, age 28 of Union Island, and Jarrell Mail, age 23 of Chester Cottage. The men were detained on Saturday, April 5th after officers intercepted a motor vehicle in the Cumberland area. A search of the vehicle and its occupants was conducted, during which a quantity of cocaine and a digital scale with suspected residue were recovered. All 4 individuals were arrested on suspicion of possession of a controlled drug. The substance was subsequently weighed at a narcotics base in the presence of the accused and amounted to 245 grams of cocaine. All 4 men appeared before the Serious Offences Court on Monday, April 7th. Junior Doroshe pleaded guilty to possession of a controlled drug for the purpose of drug trafficking. He was fined EC $6,000 with an alternative of 3 months or 1 year imprisonment if he fails to pay the fine. The prosecution withdrew the charges against Aquino Williams, Omar Williams, and Jarrell Mail in relation to this offense. In a separate charge under Section 7.3 of the Drug Prevention of Misuse Act, Doroshe also pleaded guilty to possession of a controlled drug and was fined EC $3,000 with an alternative of 6 months imprisonment upon default. A destruction order was granted by the court for the cocaine. On to regional news. Jamaica's Justice Minister Delroy Chuck is urging Jamaicans to prioritize drafting wills, stressing the significant burden placed on the Office of the Administrator General due to the absence of clear instructions for estate distribution. According to Chuck, the Administrator General currently holds over $50 billion worth of property and an additional $5 billion in bank accounts that remain undistributed. These delays, he explained, are largely due to disputes among beneficiaries. He emphasized the importance of proactive estate planning, encouraging all Jamaicans to prepare a will and to urge others to do the same. Every single one of you must make a will and encourage others to make a will. When you make a will, it solves many, many problems, he added, according to a report by the Jamaica Observer. Chuck was speaking this morning at a sensitization session for Justices of the Peace, JPs, in Trelawney. 2 armed bandits were shot dead on Tuesday night by a security guard during a robbery at a Chinese supermarket on Hadfield Street, Guyana, while two of their accomplices managed to escape. The two who were shot dead have been identified as 15-year-old Tyrese Adams and the 22-year-old Orin Garraway, who both lived in the East Rumbelt area. A police report said a Glock 17 pistol with 8 matching rounds was found next to the body of one of the dead bandits. According to News Source Guyana, the police report of the incident stated that at around 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday, two armed masked suspects entered the supermarket, both dressed in dark-colored clothing and wearing ski masks. The two attacked the owner of the supermarket and a cashier. While demanding money and emptying the two cash registers, the armed security guard emerged from the rear of the supermarket, opening fire on the two suspects and catching them off guard. One of the suspects fell to the ground inside the supermarket, while the other ran out of the supermarket and fell onto the road about 15 feet west of the supermarket. In news on the international scene, Delta Airlines withdrew its full-year profit forecast today and shelved some planned capacity hikes, pointing to a weakening demand outlook amid recession worries and worsening trade wars. The company is among the first to report its quarterly results since U.S. President Donald Trump's Liberation Day announcement of major tariffs on United States trading partners that has roiled global markets. The big U.S. carriers' first quarter profits edged above those in the year-ago period, but executives said they were adjusting their strategy to fly fewer planes due to a more meager consumer environment in light of shifting tariff dynamics. With a broad economic uncertainty around global trade, growth has largely stalled, said Delta Chief Executive Ed Bastian. In this slower growth environment, we are protecting margins and cash flow by focusing on what we can control. He said Delta will shelve plans to increase travel capacity in the second half of 2025, which is now projected as flat compared with last year. And finally, the news at this hour. U.S. President Donald Trump announces a 90-day pause on higher tariffs for dozens of countries, but hikes levies on China to 125%. Earlier this month, the U.S. president announced a baseline tariff of 10% on all countries, with higher rates for the worst offenders. He now says the higher rates will be paused for 90 days, and instead, the reciprocal tariff will be 10%. But he says the rate for China will rise again to 125% because of the lack of respect that China has shown to the world's markets. Earlier today, China announced an 84% tariff on U.S. imports, effective from 12:01 p.m. on Thursday. This has been WeFM's 3 p.m. News. I have been your presenter, Narissa Bostwick. Join us again at 5:30 p.m. when we will bring you our next newscast.